Now that we've identified the central problems, the central areas that philosophy deals with, that the questions of philosophy investigate, let's take a look at the branches, what we call the branches of philosophy. That is, with regard to each set of problem areas, there is what we call a branch of philosophy, a discipline in philosophy that relates to that particular branch, sometimes two. Now, in the realm of value, we talked about value, questions of value, good, evil, right, wrong, what we ought to do, what is just. And those are studied, those questions, what constitutes good, evil, right, wrong, justice, injustice, are studied in the branch of ethics. It's a branch that studies the value judgments with respect to people's behavior. Now, there are other kinds of value judgments that we've mentioned that are made all the time. And if some of you are artists, it should immediately come to you. And even if not, those of you who appreciate beauty realize that there are questions of what constitutes beauty, questions in aesthetics, even general questions about what constitutes a value, but that would be value theory. But the main branches of philosophy dealing with problems of value are ethics and aesthetics. Now, turning to reality, questions having to do with reality, and we'll get to this in a couple of slides, are studied within a branch of philosophy known as metaphysics. And the two main areas of study within metaphysics are cosmology and ontology. And we'll talk about what our study, that is, cosmology has to do with the universe, the origins of the universe, where did we come from. Ontology is worried about questions about what kinds of things are real. And we'll talk about what questions are that philosophers are interested in answering that in a few more slides. And finally, we said the other area that philosophical problems fall into are related to questions of knowledge. And these fall into a branch of philosophy called epistemology, which is the theory of knowledge. We'll see epistemology comes from a Greek word episteme. We'll take a look at that in a couple of minutes. But these are the three main topics, main problem areas that all philosophical questions fall into in one way or another. And these are the main branches of philosophy that study problems within this area. And to make us really get a feeling for what philosophy is, what the questions are, what the problems are that we're going to be encountering, let's take a look at some of the questions that fall within each of these branches of study.